The PLP chairman talks the fate of embattled Fort Charlotte MP Andre Rollins. Bahamar and the government still at odds over West Bay Street costs. Homes left damaged by yesterday's flooding, and stolen iguanas returned to the wild. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Dana Smith, and NB12 starts right now. Topping news tonight, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Bradley Roberts is breaking his silence on the Andre Rollins ordeal. Weeks after the Fort Charlotte MP blasted the Christie administration several times in the House of Assembly and even predicted a 2017 defeat of the PLP. The party chairman told NB12 Rollins has burned his goodwill within the party and has left many with ill feelings towards him. And now the party will have to decide his fate. Kyle Joaquin reports.
After Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins blasted the Christie administration in the House of Assembly on several issues, PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts said the party will have to meet to discuss his future within the organization. Rollins, he said, is invited. PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts says Prime Minister Perry Christie was absolutely right in saying the party operates on a revolving door and members are free to leave, as he responded to Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins. The former gaming board chairman has hit out at the Prime Minister over his repetitive quoting of the Bible and even called for there to be new political leadership within the country. Roberts told our news team that Andre Rollins' recent behavior has left a bad taste in the mouths of many party members.
At the moment, I would say that the feeling is very jaundiced towards Dr. Rollins. People are very surprised and shocked at his utterance.
When asked if Rollins would ever be supported in the future as a possible candidate for the party, the PLP chairman said this.
Time will tell with respect to that, but he has burned some goodwill along the way.
State Minister for National Security Keith Bell has already recommended that Rollins leave the party. Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis fired Rollins as gaming board chairman last month, just days before his tenure was up. Roberts said the party council will meet soon to discuss his fate, as well as a few other issues.
As chairman of the party, I will make a definitive statement on that in due course. After consultation. No. I work on the basis that of consultation, and I don't get way ahead of what the majority desires or wishes are.
Rollins has already received invitations from the Democratic National Alliance and the Free National Movement. However, he says he still believes in the fundamental values of the PLP. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
A rainstorm yesterday left many walking and driving through up to 2 feet of water. Some residents said the water invaded their homes and they had to leave. One resident even called it worse than any hurricane flood she's experienced. Simone Davis has that story.
Residents in flooded areas are left to clean water and debris from the inside of their homes as a result of yesterday's severe rainstorm. They're asking the government to install proper drainage in their communities to prevent this from happening.
Yesterday was the worst I've ever seen it in a very, very long time. The water was so high it was coming up to the bed. I had to take my TV and everything else on the stand, off the stand, put them up, because as the cars were passing, the water was splashing in the house like the sea wave. I had to put all of my TV, everything on the bunk bed, my chairs, everything got wet up, my table, my stand, everything got damaged from the water yesterday. The water was about just under my knee, a bit in the house, and me and my children, we were bailing it out. As we bail, the water just keep coming in the house, and as cars pass, the situation just get worse because it started to splash everywhere now.
She said she and her children were forced to evacuate their home last night and had to spend the night at a family member's home because the water in their house was just too high. Williams said she is unemployed and relies on monthly checks she receives from social services. Now, she can't afford to purchase cleaning supplies to rid the smell and debris from the rain. Her neighbor's house was also damaged, and he said the government should make it a priority to help them and others who are dealing with this issue by installing drain systems in their areas.
The problem is with the low line around here. The government ain't got no sewage, and the poor people company, and no drainage seriously would operating in the poor community, them would really like carrying the water out, flowing the water out fast. Government ain't get it established nowhere in no poor community, and that's what really goes in the poor people suffer when you see it flood.
He said he is now concerned with how he's going to pay for the damages. Denzel Roll is another concerned citizen who says he reached out to the government several times in regards to the upkeep of the drains around New Providence. He says the drains have been clogged with dirt and growing plants for years, and it's time for something to be done.
I've been speaking with I think the past 4 MPs to put a drain in the front of my home. When it rains, I cannot get to my car without taking off my shoes. My neighbors cannot get to their car. Persons using that street cannot walk the street because it's full of water. And yesterday I was really so upset that when I came home, pulling in my yard, there was a 8-inch centipede, about an inch thick, climbing up my wall as a result of all the rain and the water. And so I've had enough now.
NB12 tried to contact officials from the Ministry of Works for comment on this issue, but they were unavailable up until news time. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
The government is reportedly trying to avoid arbitration with Baha Mar, despite protracted talks between the two sides on how much the Christie administration should pay the developer to help cover the cost of the new West Bay Street. Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis has said he finds this ongoing issue troubling, but insisted there are genuine differences on how much the government owes Baha Mar. Vani Toot reports.
More than a year after Baha Mar and government began talks over the cost of the rerouted West Bay Street, Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis suggested the two may be forced to go into arbitration to determine how much the Christie administration owes the developer. However, Davis told NB12 officials are still trying to avoid that.
We are both trying to avoid it. We have all already engaged the arbitration process, but we are trying to see whether we could work it out ourselves before having to take that last step.
Talks between government and Baha Mar have dragged on since June 2013, when the Christie administration confirmed it wanted to pay the resort less money than was initially agreed. Asked what else the government can do, Davis said,
And there's a mechanism to get over that hump, and that mechanism is arbitration.
Now, what happens if you don't?
It's arbitration.
Under the heads of agreement between the government and the resort, government was obligated to pay Baha Mar nearly $48 million to help cover the cost of the road that runs along the multi-billion-dollar resort development. However, the Christie administration has been advised to pay less. We asked Davis, who is also the Minister of Works, why the two sides have yet to finalize negotiations.
Because of genuine differences on what they believe they should pay and what we believe we should pay.
So far, government has paid Baha Mar $30 million. However, Davis confirmed this week officials haven't made additional payments. Reporting for NB12, I'm Vonique Toot.
National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage says dealing with crime is very important to the government, and they're trying to see how best they can get to the root of it. Yesterday, Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade told NB12 he feels the current crime-fighting strategy is working, despite the Prime Minister previously stating they have to go back to the drawing board. Nottage admits the strategy could be a bit stronger.
We've got to look at the strategies we've been adopting, and where they're not working, we have to change them. And the whole legislative thing is a part of that. But we have a good team to work with. We have a lot of young people with new ideas, and we're trying to involve all of them in solving the problems of the country.
Earlier this week, the government passed a package of crime-related bills, which the commissioner commended. Nottage's comments came at the opening of Phase 1 of the Port for Resorts World Bimini yesterday. The minister said because of the dramatic increase in visitors, they had to amp up law enforcement efforts on that island.
And so we've got increased security by the Royal Bahamas Police Force. The Defense Force is here specifically to look after the ports, because this is a port of entry which is close to the United States of America. There's a lot of fishing that goes on here. You know, there's a history of drug smuggling and human smuggling. And so it's very important for us to ensure that we do everything to minimize these ill effects. But the most important thing is, of course, providing the opportunity for visitors to come here and to be untroubled while they're here.
Meantime, police are seeking the public's help in locating a missing teen. 18-year-old Rondera Roll of Montel Heights is described as standing about 5'3" to 5'5" in height, of a dark brown complexion and medium build. Police are asking anyone who may know the whereabouts of Rondera Roll to contact them. When MB12 returns, DNA leader Ranville McCartney on the newly announced immigration policy changes. Stay with us.